makambo e, oh na makambo e, oh na makambo e, ngai na makambo e, munu para kile bachuli balutua, lutua munu wek luwe, lutua munu wek luwe. Oh, Namakambwe,
That small building next to it, that was the Kolmanskop post office. Let's just walk a little bit further on. You see that cement reservoir on top of the hill there?
Yeah.
That was the freshwater reservoir for Kolmanskop. But Kolmanskop had no fresh water. They had to import all their fresh water all the way from Cape Town. 1,000 tons of fresh water per month, with boat up to Lutrid and from there in wooden barrels through the desert up to Kolmanskop. At a later stage, a desalination plant was erected, but it was such an expensive process that water was nearly the same price as beer, so it obviously didn't work. Today we get our fresh water all the way from the Khoikhapa, that's about 150 kilometers from here, and the scientists say that the water we find there is about 10,000 years old. Now people, I can put my head on a block, if there was enough fresh water here in Kolmanskop, there would have been a beer brewery as well. But you will see why I say that as we go further along. That cement reservoir, that steel tank next to it, that was filled with seawater coming from Elizabeth Bay mine. And that seawater was then used for the ice factory and also for the sorting plant of the diamonds. But on weekends, the residents of Kolmanskop used it as a swimming pool. This house here with the bath in front, this is where the mine engineer, Mr. Pleach, used to stay. And his family still got an engineering place here in Lutritz, and it's still called Pleach Engineering. So let's just go a bit further on. The Kolmanskop bowling alley, and it was built to resemble a traditional German bowling alley. Now the blue paint you see here is not original, but the stenciling above still original from that time. A week before their contract ended, all these men were doctored with castor oil and put under quarantine in that small white buildings over there. They had like diamond mesh on top of the toilets. Everything went through, the diamond stayed on top. Now these people were very clever. They made incisions in their head or here in their leg, and they would then stuff the diamonds in there and wait for the skin to come. So after this 2 years, these Namibian contract workers were never ever allowed to come and work here in Kolmanskop.
2 years?
It was only after 2 years it was finished. Their contract was for 2 years. So after that 2 years, sorry, you can't come work here again. I think it's because they knew the setup here, so they could go home and devise other plans to smuggle out the diamonds.
Yeah, but who was the owner of this diamond?
I'll tell you everything.
Okay.
This here was the ice factory. And this steel tank, this whole steel tank, was filled with seawater. Coming from that steel tank that I showed you on top of the hill. And this containers were filled with fresh water. Now the freezing temperature for salt water is much higher than that of seawater, of fresh water. And then with a combination of ammonia gas and electricity, this seawater was then cooled until the fresh water froze.
Tamta była jeszcze niewystarczająco zimna, a ta już zamarzała chyba ta zwykła.
And that took about 24 hours.
Tak trwa
48,
yeah?
24.
24 godziny.
They then took these containers out, dumped it in hot water that was made by that boiler over there in the corner. just to loosen the ice, right?
Tylko żeby wyluzować ten lód.
Ice was then taken out, cut into half, and each household received a half a block of ice for the refrigerator on a daily basis.
Połowę takiego na dzień, żeby mieć do lodówki. For the fridge.
For the fridge. And this here was the typical refrigerator found in everyday household. On top you put your half a block of ice. Now cold air goes down, and underneath you can put your cheese and your butter and your beer and whatever you want to keep cool.
Ale to tego nie myślałam, że tak się zrobiło. Takie lodóweczka?
Na Allegro było kiedyś coś podobnego do kupienia. Ładniejsze troszkę i wtedy się... No, jeszcze w środku to był kamień. Nie kamień, tylko marmur. Marmurem wyłożone i to trzymało zimno, nie?
Kamienek tu jest odrezany.
Now seeing that fresh water was so scarce, they also had a draining tap underneath here. So all this melted water that accumulated on the bottom there, you could drain it afterwards and use it to water your plants or whatever.
Dokładnie.
Nie no, takich to ja nie mam.
Bardzo podobne. Łóżko mało ładniejsze.
In September 1980, Zacharias Lewala found the first shiny stone at Kolmanskop, about 20 kilometers from here, and gave the stone to our Stav. Now Stav was very clever. He took the stone and he tested it against the glass of his watch, and with great foresight, he immediately started to pick off claims before letting the government know, and in the process became a millionaire practically overnight. Diamond fever erupted. Lutrich virtually emptied overnight. Shops and offices closed as diamond hunters descended on Kolmanskop. In some areas, the diamonds lay scattered on the surface of the desert floor. You didn't even have to dig for it. News of this wealth soon reached Germany, and in 1908, someone was sent to come and assess the situation. And except for the 4 existing companies, the sole right for further mining and prospecting of diamonds were given to the colonial company DKG, Deutsche Koloniale Gesellschaft of Southwest Africa Limited. Over 5 million carats, 1,000 kilograms of diamonds have been recovered already. 1,000 kilograms, amounting to 20% of the world production. With the outbreak of World War I, the whole diamond industry came to a standstill. Workers in the diamond fields were sent back home to go help fight the war, and after the war in 1918, a new deal was made with Anglo-America, and in 1920, a new company was formed called CDM, Consolidated Diamond Mines of Southwest Africa Limited. But it was only in 1958 that the old hospital closed and the last of the inhabitants left Kolmanskop. Now Stav became a well-known name and his wealth gave him immense opportunities. However, with the outbreak of the Great Depression in 1930, Stav lost everything except for his farm dollar.